Okay, another fun day of recording all night. Okay, so yeah, of course, a lot of people will probably already saw the direct and everything. What is your number one opinion on it before we actually get into all that?
But when I watched it yesterday, I was like still watching it, and then I texted you about it. I was like, oh, we have to wait 2 more months for it. My first thought was like, did I just not see what the price was gonna be? And then they said like, oh, there's more information on the website. And then I don't know where I saw like a news, like I mean I guess an article online that said like, oh, it's 449. Like, oh, all right, that's under the 500 that I thought it would be. Honestly,
Yeah, a lot of people were kind of surprised that the direct didn't have any kind of pricing for anything that it was showing, not for the system, the games, or pretty much anything,
yeah.
which was a little strange. But like I said earlier, more than likely it's because right now they're trying to get some stuff with it settled, and then they'll probably come out with the pricing later when it get closer to the date. But the system itself has probably already been priced. That one is completely set and done.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that they didn't want to like give out the pricing just for the system, but everything else being a guessing game. And I feel like the only reason right now why I think that everything is kind of like still being settled is because even their they've even gone and put up a form saying that certain games aren't really backwards compatible.
Oh, there was that.
And
That was definitely annoying because what was it? You can't play Switch 2 games on a regular Switch. That was the first thing. The second thing was that you can't use the SD cards from your Switch to your Switch 2 because of the speed or something. So you have to buy new SD cards to use it on the Switch 2.
anybody who's bought like a normal SD card rather than one of the Nintendo approved ones,
Oh yeah, Extreme SD.
yeah. But if you bought like one from Amazon or something, more likely it can work for the next system. But how do I say? I took a look at the listing, and the funny part is that even though it does show Fortnite during this direct, apparently Fortnite is something that's having issues on the Switch too.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's why I think like right now they're trying to like say hold up, we aren't really gonna do any kind of pricing right now because there's some issues that we have to work out. So give us a while, give us a chance to try and work things out, and yeah, we can go ahead and just bring it in because again, right now the games are kind of gonna be taking a backseat to a lot of things because the next Switch is gonna be backwards compatible. So it's kind of like, okay, you have the new console, you have all these old games though. You can go ahead and play those for a bit while we go ahead and do all this stuff with the new games. So to me, it kind of seems like the reason there is no pricing is because they're still trying to work on a few things. We already have like tons of games in our actual libraries, both physical and digital, and it doesn't seem like it will be too bad of an issue to just wait a little bit longer for a lot of those next gen games to try and like get flushed out and then come out.
But the current pricing being $80 or $90 kind of makes it harder to want to get them.
Yeah,
Now you're like, it's extra money. It's like, what the hell?
yeah. With the fact that it's, I'm pretty sure I saw that it was technically supposed to be like $80 physical for the US. I'm pretty sure like the 90 something is supposed to be for like the European pricing.
Oh, I guess that would make sense.
Because yesterday when I saw somebody talking about it, he was saying like, "Oh, it's 80 for the digital, but $90 for the physical." And I looked at the pricing, and yeah, it had the little euro symbol next to it instead of the US dollar symbol. So yeah, I'm pretty sure right now the physical for the Mario Kart that we're seeing it is gonna be like $80, which first of all, for a lot of the stuff that you can do in it, I'm not too upset with the pricing.
I mean, the multiplayer thing?
Not only the multiplayer thing, but also the fact that there can be up to 24 people. The fact that there's
Wait, they actually mentioned that?
yeah, there's actually gonna be 24 people and they can play in this.
I feel like that's what the title was because I was trying to remember. Like, pretty sure it wasn't Mario World. It doesn't make sense to say Mario Kart World either. It is Mario Kart World.
Yeah,
But yeah. Because there was already like someone counting it. It's like, oh, there's like 24. Like, there's no way. Now you're telling me this. Oh, it
yeah,
didn't happen.
yeah. No, even the official site says that for one of the modes, the knockout mode, that there's gonna be 24 people at the start of the race, and for every race that goes on by, 4 people get eliminated
Yeah, that's
until
brutal.
until there's only 4 people left, and then whoever wins that wins the whole thing.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's but that's actually the thing. That's why I'm not too upset about the pricing for this one, because it adds in those two new modes, as well as the 24 player count, which makes the whole entire thing bigger.
What do you thought about the new button, the C button?
uh,
Because at first it's like, okay, that's interesting, even though we could have already done that the entire time. But it seems to me like you don't have to add an extension. It's like it's in the game. But then I hear it's not a free thing. You actually have to spend money to use it, and then also it's only like for probably a month or so they'll let you use it for free, but you still have to buy the equipment.
no, I think it's until like close to the ending of next year, because I remember it was definitely like 2026.
I,
But
yeah, I don't remember if it actually said like how long, but probably you're right. I only paid so much. I only watched it once, and then I was kind of dozing off.
I was kind of dozing off a bit because I tried to wake up early for it. I ended up catching the last 2 games.
Oh
I,
man,
because it said like nine ET, and so I thought, okay, that's
oh,
probably somewhere around our time. That's
you really should have typed it in, but
I mean,
you live and learn.
I mean at the very least, I was only an hour late. I just had to wait a little bit, and I could have just watched it off the stream.
Yeah, I only watched it because it was like it showed up on my feed, and I saw it was like an hour, and like, oh, this is pre-recorded, or it was live streamed, and then it showed itself, and like I just missed everything out of the door.
It was technically live streamed and everything.
Yeah,
The
I see
issue,
so.
the funny issue, is the fact that the American live stream ended up messing up at some point.
Oh,
Yeah, apparently it glitched. The American Nintendo accounts ended up glitching out at some point, so people had to go and watch either the UK version, or they had to give it like I don't know 5-10 minutes for it to fix itself.
damn.
And that's not
Okay.
and that's not only the live stream on YouTube. That was a live stream on Twitch as well. So
Oh, I was about to say like, oh, they fucked up. But now, oh, hey, Yoshi showed. Sucked. Can you even show it? I'm probably gonna leave early.
okay, anyways, well, before even that, I still want to talk about how in the as we're seeing in the
That's
Mario,
probably me.
yeah, I still want to talk about how in this new Mario Kart, I'm kind of loving the fact that not only is there the knockout mode, but there's also the free roam.
Oh yeah,
Because
that thing.
yeah, because
Yeah.
that's extremely interesting to me. That seems like it's really fun. That's another reason why I kind of don't mind the pricing being so high. Also, the
I
also the fact that there's a ton more characters in this because they only have the Mario characters. They kind of took out all the extended Nintendo characters. So there's no more Link, Zelda. There's no more.
that ever in Mario Kart?
Yeah, in all
Oh
the
shoot.
other Mario Kart games, I think from what is it? Probably. I want to say maybe 7 is when they started adding other Nintendo characters.
Okay.
But yeah, 7 and 8 had a lot of Nintendo characters, and they had like other areas and everything. That like even Hyrule, like you could go around Hyrule track and everything, and even do some stuff in the temples. but right now it's only this next one is only the Mario World. So maybe at some point they'll probably add in more Nintendo characters. They'll probably add in like others. So that wouldn't be too bad. That'd be another reason for the pricing to be the way it is. But aside from that, to the question about the C button, they could have just worked out something with Discord.
It would have been interesting, honestly. The only thing that was interesting to me was the fact that they're also selling a camera that is basically subscription based.
Is the camera subscription based?
So you can buy the camera. You can probably use it in other peripherals, but to use the chat feature, you have to buy
no
game chat.
No, I actually heard.
Or it was you have to have an account Nintendo.
At the very least, you have to have a Nintendo account to do all this stuff, which I already have.
Yeah.
I just have to renew it. But from what I heard from another YouTuber that is almost always trying to get in contact with Nintendo, who's even going to an event soon that has a lot of people like playing the Switch too. He says that apparently the Nintendo company says we do have a camera that a lot of people can use, but if you already have your own, you can just plug it in.
Access. Oh, shoot, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
March 31st, 2026. I didn't see the 2026 part. Which, even if I didn't, I should have saw the March part. April right now. That would have been funny if it said 2025. I'm like, oh, that ain't 3 days ago.
Jesus Christ, that would have been even worse than people would think.
Okay, so basically an entire year.
Yeah.
Except you can't use it right now. Not until it drops.
I mean, true. True, but maybe that's why they give like a little more than just like ending it on December or in January.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I trying to say?
Oh, where you going with it?
Oh, that's right. So yeah, apparently, if you already have like a pre-existing camera, like how I have for my webcam,
Yeah.
you can just try to find some piece to try and like make it work for the USB-C,
Oh, okay.
and then just plug it into that. Which no, that's not it. I do have one myself. I'm pretty sure I have it somewhere. It's probably in the closet somewhere.
Alright, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have something to where you can go from USB A to USB C, yeah, you can pretty much plug it in and use it as your own kind of camera.
Oh, okay.
So it's not much like you have to use our system. It's just more of like this is a pre-approved system. This is
Sure,
a pre-approved
for sure.
equipment and everything. Yeah.
There was this part too, bigger screen. It's like, alright.
Yeah.
But it's like, it is bigger overall, it's just same thickness, which I see no problem with it. Hopefully it has a better battery life, because, if it's bigger, you have a bigger battery with it.
I mean, I think I heard that it's supposed to last just as long, if not longer, than the OLED that came out now.
The OLED? Oh shit, okay.
Yeah. I mean, of course, they're upgrading and everything, so they
True.
do have to have incorporate the new battery into this, even.
Yeah. So I do feel like because of the bigger battery, but they're also doing the 120 frames per second thing. Will drain it a bit faster, but I mean, depending on the game, you're willing to go with the trade-off.
I mean, that is true. And again, this is kind of one of those. This is kind of one of those things where it's more like the person might be playing with their TV rather than just handheld the entire time. Because that was always a thing when the original Switch came out. A lot of people were talking about how the battery life was extremely bad, how you couldn't take it out a lot of places, and it's kind of like, I don't want to just grab this thing and then just take a small screen out wherever I go to play something like Legend of Zelda. Like, if I want to see the Legend of Zelda and everything, I want to see it on a big screen that I have in my house. And it's kind of like, yeah, like, you can use this as a handheld. Nobody's saying that the games are going to be bad. Nobody's saying, like, the games shouldn't be used for handheld, because especially with the Mario Kart stuff, that you're definitely gonna be taking out and about a lot. But it's also like a lot of people are looking at this thing and probably thinking, I want to just mainly stick it somewhere where I can always have it on an actual TV. So,
Have you already pre-ordered the Switch 2 or not yet?
no. I woke up not too long ago, and because GameStop doesn't open until 12, I was not able to go out and look.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because you had work afterwards.
Yeah, because yesterday I got up, I watched a few people. I not only watched the direct, but I watched a few people talk about it as well. And yeah, then I ended up having to go to work, so yeah, so I didn't really get a chance yesterday to try and do it. Also, I kind of want to make sure that if I did get it, I wanted to make sure that I had just enough money to start pre-ordering right away. 'Cause I'm
Oh,
pretty
I was gonna ask about that. Like, are you paying up front, or is it just like a down deposit, or just like you're expressing interest and you pay later?
pretty much like deposits. Because I think like when you pre-order, it's like 10% at GameStop.
Oh, okay.
So with it being the way it is, I can probably say probably maybe 45, maybe $46 down the moment you start pre-ordering.
And does it charge the entire amount to the same card, or do you pay the rest of the amount when you get them?
I think I know what you're asking, and basically like it's whatever card you want to use to pay it off.
Yeah,
So
but like,
even if you start with your bank card, if you
yeah,
have like a secondary card from somewhere else, you can use it as well.
but like on the when you try to get it, you pay the other 90% then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Okay.
you don't have to keep using the same card every time. You can use whichever one to pay it off little by little until it's fully paid off.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. So long as like, how do I say? So long as it's like fully paid off by the time that it comes out and everything, and you're able to go over there and get it, you'll be fine. There's really no limit to what you can.
So I could just pay it off immediately right now if I wanted to.
I mean, yeah, if you want to pay right now,
Okay, good, because I
you
got a
can
gift card that I wanted to use. Probably change that right.
you bastard.
I have a second one, but I kind of like left it at house, so I only have the one I have with me right now, and it has just enough for what I assume is the 449 plus taxes, which is like 484. I have enough in my gift card.
Yeah, you can honestly use it and then go back to using like your normal credit card and everything like the next time you pay. Like there's really no issue.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the only.
This part I've heard contention with, because when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat, and then they said it's a game that you have to buy. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that was definitely the downside about it all. The fact that this is technically a game that you have to pay for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. It's a chance to get to know the technology and everything to actually see like uh, a way of building this kind of stuff if you ever want to do something like that.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like you gotta pay. I don't even know how much. I didn't even. Look.
I'm hoping if they do sell this, it's just cheap. Like here, it's just $10. But if they sell this as the full price of like 80, 90, I'm gonna be fucking mad. This thing is not worth that much.
Yep.
Like this should have been like one of those things like that just come in included with your Joy-Con. I mean, with your Switch, just so like if you have free time, you want to look at how this thing works. Here you go.
A lot of people are definitely saying that, and I do understand it because this isn't technically like a game. It's more like how do I say?
It's a tutorial.
Yeah, it's kind of like a system demo,
Yeah.
basically. Especially parts like this, where it's kind of like, oh yeah, go ahead and try to learn how to do this kind of stuff. With the new mouse system that's going on, with the new voice system that's
Oh yeah,
going
the
on.
fact that like somebody actually said like, oh yeah, you can use it as a mouse. I was still not believing it. I was like, this is too weird for it to be used as a mouse. And how would you use it as a mouse? And then I see it, especially with the basketball wheelchair one. That was pretty interesting to me, but I also felt like, huh. So what you're saying is I can have a handicap And then as soon as I'm done with the game, I don't have to be in a handicap, except for people already in a handicap.
Honestly, the funny part about that is that when they showed that game as well,
That shit, the micro SD express.
yeah,
Like you're saying, like any card could have been used.
yeah, because I don't even have a Nintendo approved SD card in mine.
I assume
I have
so, but it felt like there was some like you can't use.
no, because I have like a 1 terabyte SanDisk card in mine, and it's been working fine. It still has like a ton of space I can use. But yeah, it should be the same way with this one, where like you can just get any kind of like SD card, and so long as like it's able to keep up with the speed, the it should be just fine. There should be no actual worry about it. Besides, with Nintendo, they always price their like simple stuff so high. That's why a lot of people didn't actually want to try and get the SD card for the Switch because the Nintendo approved ones are like I think it was like almost $50, and that was just for like 56 or something gigabytes. It was like, the fuck are you trying to do?
I'm just realizing right now. They ever mentioned what the cost of the
They have not mentioned any cost of anything in this.
not even the controllers? Goddamn.
Yeah, no, not a.
Because if I remember right, like a PlayStation One costs like $80. I can see this being at least 80.
Yeah, no, the Pro controller and everything is definitely like, pretty sure it said like 79.99 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I assume. Just it's easier to say 80 instead of 70. Because it's annoying. You're like, okay, cool. I save a cent. That's doing nothing to me.
I mean, you're not even saving that because taxes.
That's true, but it's like it's easier to calculate taxes with an $80 one than a $79.99 because now I have to do $80 worth and then subtract a cent off of it.
But yeah, as it's showing right here, like the console is like backwards compatible and everything. So it's kind of like if you want to, you can just buy the system itself and then wait until like GameStop has the prices go down on a lot of these games. You can wait to.
There's definitely gonna be some games, but my God, have like there's definitely games in here that aren't ever gonna go down. Mostly the Nintendo like first party games, like they're never gonna go.
Yeah, no, that's why a lot of times you don't wait for Nintendo to price them down. You wait until GameStop themselves price down because
Ah,
GameStop will technically put like a discount on a lot of games, especially if they've been there long enough. Even a lot of Nintendo games will go down like 25% or even like 50%. But that's only because like
they have so
it
many of them.
well no, I was gonna say it's because like that's mainly through the store itself. It's not through the company, so there's no like permanent price down on it. It's just like for whatever like thing is going on right now with GameStop.
Okay.
Because I remember we went to a Walmart one time that had like GameStop right next to it,
Oh
and
yeah.
when we went and looked, I took a look at some of the Switch games, and yeah, some of them did have a sticker on it that said like 25% off. So yeah, GameStop will definitely like put down a price. Will technically take down the pricing on a lot of these, and unless like it's some sort of I don't know, maybe like if it's a Pokemon Day or something like that, Nintendo won't actually put a price down on some of their stuff.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I can see a lot of people like getting really upset by the fact that the pricing is so high right now. But it's not always going to be like that. There are going to be times where the price is down, where you can get it for kind of a cheaper option if you want.
Yeah. Though one of the big problems with me is also the fact that like even if you buy a physical copy, you're still downloading the rest of the game online.
With some of these, yeah, like this one with the Jamboree and everything, yeah, there's definitely that, which is.
It's like as soon as they say like, oh, we're not gonna update this game anymore down the server, just bought a brick. That's if you bought it physical. Bought it digital, just spent $80 for a subscription.
Yeah, actually, Hearing you say that kind of reminds me of another time when me and one of my friends on Discord, King, were talking because there's this game called Dauntless, and the funny part about it is that originally it was kind of fun. It was a lot like Monster Hunter, where you go out, you kill a monster, you go back to the hub, and then you just make you make armor, you make weapons, whatever you need or want. But over time, it became less about that and more of like how it's how the other game from the same company, Fortnite, was turning out to be, where
Oh,
it was kind of like battle passes, season passes, and all this kind of stuff. And now the company kind of like gave up on the game. Well, they didn't give up on the game. They had like a few things they wanted to do for the game, but they kind of handed over a lot of the reign to a third party company who mostly, if I remember correctly, he said they mostly manufactured in NFT stuff.
yeah, I was gonna die. All right.
Yeah, he said that a lot of the stuff was put on hold almost permanently. And right now, even on Steam, a lot of people are leaving like really shit reviews of the game to where nobody wants to play it.
I assume so. It's, it, it's the only thing about games now, like, because the way I see this, like, the fact that you need a membership, I guess it's a membership subscription service for to use it, to hold your game. I mean, sure they upgraded it from 64 gigabytes to 256. You're gonna be able to store more games, but it's like once they stop producing the game, like there's too many companies now that are just making it like live subscription, or I guess a live online game only kind of games. Where once they take down the server, you're not gonna be able to play that game.
I feel like there is always that threat looming over with a lot of gaming companies, but especially with companies like Nintendo, when they make a game, they for sure know like I don't want this to be like a strictly this kind of way kind of game.
Yeah.
So that's why they still take a while for things like even Metroid Prime 4 here. Because this game has been in development hell for so long.
I have heard
And
about this, and like, oh, I keep hearing there's gonna be a new game where like, oh, it's never gonna come. Then this showed up, and like, what? Yeah, I thought they weren't wasn't anymore. So that makes more sense. It was just in development hell.
yeah, it was in development for so long. I think the last news that we got of it was it looked like completely different and everything. I don't know if technically the Beyond part is supposed to be like DLC or anything, but yeah, at the very least, things like Metroid and the Pokemon Legends game, those are definitely games that they know we're not gonna put any kind of like in-game like pricing or anything on there like where you have to spend actual money for things. It's just kind of like you buy the game, you get to play it. So
Makes sense.
that's actually another thing too, because as we just saw how a lot of the games are getting upgrades and everything. With some of the games, it seems like you have to buy the upgrade, but that's only because they come with something extra. Whereas on the official Nintendo website, apparently things like even Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are getting a free upgrade. And I can only imagine that's still like the graphics and the performance. So once the Switch 2 comes out and you can start playing the games on there, you'll be able to download a free pack that allows the upgrade to happen.
Now, I kind of forgot more or less, but didn't they say like can't play a Switch game on the Switch 2 or something like that, or but like you can buy it, like the expansion pack or something, to
No,
play it, or what was the deal? Because I you know right.
no. The way it is basically a lot of the games are supposed to be backwards compatible, meaning that you can play any kind of like original Switch game onto the Switch 2. It's just some of them are going to be given a upgrade pack.
That's what it was. Yeah, you can play it like a Switch 2 game because of the sharing and then like playing with 4 other people.
Yeah, that's something else. That's something different.
Yeah.
No, because how that one works is kind of like how it used to for the 3DS, which I honestly didn't use a lot because I didn't know a lot of people who wanted to play the same game. But
There was at least one game that, like for me, it was always Mario Kart because it was kind of cool letting the game out to somebody else and like they get to play with you. But they were always Shy Guy, which is like, oh, that sucks. You can't actually choose a character
yeah, I think
with the DS. But
I
it
heard,
was still fun to be able to play the game as long as you had a DS.
I think that was something that was already talked about a while ago.
Because once they did this, all this was reminding me of like, oh, this is like a DS. Because it has a microphone now. There's an extra button so that you can like do something. In this case, instead of taking pictures, you're just using it for a video and chat.
Yeah,
It's interesting. Like, can you imagine if like the DS had this back then, where you can just do a Discord through your DS?
honestly, that would be amazing and everything. It's just the fact that like,
I would think that it's gonna be lively as hell. Like all the like your hands being so close.
yeah, yeah. I mean, with my 3DS right here, yeah, I can't imagine it not being like very well. Even maybe like on the bottom screens, it would show like the people and everything. But even then, unless it's like one person, it's not gonna look all that great.
It's not.
Like it's gonna be like very compressed video and share.
It's gonna be what's the lowest resolution? 44p. Might even be 8p. Like there you go. You're just 8 pixels on the screen.
But yeah, the thing you were talking about, the sharing and everything, yeah, that already came up in the video. I rewound it to that part, and yeah, basically all it is the games aren't going to get upgraded for it. It's going to be more of the fact that the system itself will start allowing this to happen. Because yeah, before you would need like the two controllers to do stuff, but now there's gonna be an option in the main menu to where like if you want to share with somebody, all you gotta do is just press that one button, and then it can start sharing even to like the older consoles. So even with my normal Switch, if you start sharing, I should be able to pick it up because more likely they're gonna update the UI, the main menu UI for even the normal Switch here either today, later on this month, whenever. But yeah, it should give anybody for any kind of like version of the Switch the ability to play multiplayer games without actually needing to buy the game, which is always fun. It's always a fun idea because it's kind of like, hey, do you mind if I play with you on this to see how I like it and everything? Like, sure, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Or even with the thing that came out during the last direct, where it's kind of like, hey, anybody on your friends or on your family members list, you can just lend out the game to them for about 2 weeks, and they'll automatically come back to you after.
That part was kind of annoying because like, oh, you can only lend it out for 2. Wait, when they say lend out 2 weeks, like, is it 2 weeks max or like?
I think technically it's 2 weeks max. I don't know if there's like a way to set it to be less.
No, I was gonna say like you can get the game back quicker and then like that's it, or is it
Oh,
like
yeah, there's
2 weeks gameplay max, or is it like 2 weeks and then you can do it again for another 2 weeks?
I mean, there's no limit on how many times you can lend it out to them. It's just kind of like the system. This kind of thing was meant to be like, I'm gonna lend you the game for a little bit. You can play it to see if you like it, and if not, you don't have to get it yourself.
Imagine
But
speedrunning it. Like shit, I'm gonna clear the entire game for 2 weeks.
I mean, by what I've seen of a lot of people, it doesn't take more than like 5 hours for them to realize whether or not they like the game.
That's also true. That's crazy. You can just keep playing. Also, this part, the controllers having a bigger button, I didn't think about it until I just saw it, like those are going to be more comfortable to use because it is kind of weird like how the Switch currently has like really small R1 and L2 buttons. But this seems like, oh, that's more comfortable. I press.
Yeah, because even with me, when I first started looking into it, when I got mine, like I tried it and it just felt kind of uncomfortable because I had to, with my with my hands being so large, I felt like I had to be really precise in where I was pressing for it. Because with the normal controller, like my hands just cover it, so all I gotta do is kind of press down. But with the small SL, SR, and everything,
Yeah.
like I had to actually like be right up on top of the button in order to actually press it.
Also, the more I think about it, well, the Switch is nice. I think it has shit controls. Weird way. Just cause like it's on the sides, sure, but it's like, dang, this is kind of weird. And then when you use them as separate controllers, it's even worse somehow.
Well, I mean, if you're using like if you're using like one side of it, like you're using mainly the left controller,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's gonna be kind of bad and everything. But honestly, it's not all that terrible. Because even back when I first got mine, like the first thing I did was just try to see like how well I can play a game with having the two controllers off of the Switch itself. And honestly, I kind of enjoyed it because I was pretty much just like stretching out while still playing. I didn't have to stop or
Now
anything.
that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, because let me see if I can.
Cause yeah, like if you're gonna dock it, then well, you either buy another separate controller, which okay, or you use the ones that already came with the dock. But then it's kind of weird to me, cause like, cause sometimes you would be able to like readjust your hand really quickly because you're holding it. But
Yeah.
if you don't buy that attachment to make it like one solid, oh wait, I thought for a second you were changing the thing right there. I
No,
don't
no.
know why I thought that for a second. Oh, this shit, I forgot. There's a fan now added to it, which is like
I never had a problem with mine overheating, but then
I
again,
just never thought about it. Like it doesn't have a fan.
but it's also the fact that I don't think I've ever played long enough for mine to get. It's also the fact that I had the old version, so maybe it didn't have that kind of issue.
I always
Maybe
had
that
it,
was
but I don't know.
maybe that was more of a thing with the OLED and the later models.
I could see. Yeah. I just thought like, oh well, the system isn't powerful enough to like have games that are that intensive for it to go that hot. But now they're doing stuff where it's like, okay, it needs to be a bit buffier. Like it's got near PlayStation 4, I guess, like rivalry. Not nowhere near PS5, but 4 maybe. Or was it PS3? I forgot what they were trying to compare it to. X wise.
A lot of people were trying to say that this new one is supposed to be like relatively similar to the PS5, whereas the last model was supposed to be was a lot more comparable to like the 3 or 2. But yeah, I can't find my original controllers, but just
Oh,
using
that seems a bit better. Yeah.
yeah, just using these Sonic ones, yeah, you can pretty much just like stretch out all you want, and so long as you know like what you're doing on them,
Yeah.
yeah, you can pretty much still like get to the buttons.
threw me off. I was like, what? That controller. Like, oh, it's that controller.
Obviously, when you're holding like a controller and like for an Xbox or even like a PlayStation, like you can't do much stretching because
Yeah, it's
you're like,
all.
yeah, because unless you get to a cutscene or unless you pause the game, you can't like you can't have your hand like go away from it.
I
So
don't know. I just feel like I would be playing for hours on end, but then I realized like I do that on my phone, but even then I'm not always on the phone when I'm playing hours on it. At the point I do let it go while the game's still on.
yeah, here's my seat.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, so all I got to do is just plug in the USB onto one side and then just get into here.
yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's another thing about this system that I always loved as well. The fact that it gives you more chance to like roam around your room rather than just being stuck to a seat the entire time. Because if you had it up on your TV or whatever, and the TV is mounted, yeah, you can pretty much just stand up, move around a little bit, so long as your eyes are still able to lock onto the screen.
I feel I'd be too lazy to move out of my bed. Just be like, oh, it's on my TV already. Cool. I'll be on my bed the entire day then. Yeah. Which is why I don't play video games on my phone. But even then, I have like 4 phones on me and an iPad.
But even then, that still seems kind of dangerous to do with your phones, because I can't imagine you laying on your bed. It's like the phone is right above your face.
Oh yeah.
So
And then every once in a while, you realize that you're slipping and falls on your. This is what I'm talking about because like it can do the micro SD card, but now it can't because it needs the micro SD card express thing. But who knows how that's gonna work? Also, did you play it or is it just going back again?
no, I rewound it back to another point
Oh yeah, that's
where
right.
we were talking about the.
Was I confused? I think I just the part where you went back or I just didn't register.
You probably didn't register it.
Yeah, probably was that. It was like, oh, I'm watching this.
But
Oh, now you're jack. Makes sense they would add that. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of controllers these days do come with an audio jack and everything.
yeah, but
It's
for
just
some reason, it just never occurred to me that the Switch would switch to. But then it's like, no, even the regular Switch has it.
No.
Doesn't have one on the top for you to like put earbuds.
no, I don't think the original ones had it.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Yours doesn't have.
I don't even know if I still have the original Pro controller, but
No. I mean, like, just the actual Switch.
the Switch console itself, yeah. But
Yeah.
it's the fact that they were showing that the Pro controller now has the jacks.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I've ever thought about the controllers having. I would have thought like, oh well, I guess you could just use the Switch 2s for the headphone jack. But wait, can you?
No,
Could
because
you mute the TV and still listen to the game by plugging it in through your remote thing?
technically, yes, I think I've done that before. But the thing about it is that when the Switch originally came out, there was only one way to use headphones, and that was through the jack in the Switch itself. And the issue about that is that not a lot of people like the option of just having the headphones plugged directly into the console rather than just into the controller, like how a lot of systems are doing at the time. And it was the fact that when the Switch first came out, there wasn't even Bluetooth capability.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh,
some people
shoot.
had to buy like an extra piece
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do that.
You buy the Bluetooth receiver,
Yeah.
and then that's gotta be nuts.
Funny enough, it wasn't until after I bought a Bluetooth receiver that they announced they were going to come out with Bluetooth capability for the Switch. I was all like, well, shit, all I had to do was just wait an extra like 3 weeks.
Yeah, but then you would have spent another $2, 300, I guess. Get that Switch.
No, it came out for all of them.
Wait, what? That regular Switch? Not the OLED one?
Yeah, again, the Switch that I have
Yeah.
is the original. That's the one that came out in 2017. That's able to now do the Bluetooth system and everything.
I could use Bluetooth right now.
Yes, because they updated the system.
Oh, so it's a firmware update. Okay.
Yeah, they updated the systems themselves.
I thought it was actual like, oh, we made the.
No,
It never had it like the actual Bluetooth for it. Like, okay, I think I remember that actually. Holy shit! Like, yeah. Like, oh yeah, you could do the Bluetooth. Well, you have to go through the settings and everything to get to work. Whereas now it's quicker or something like that.
I wouldn't say it's quick. It's more just the fact that, like, if you use the same Bluetooth, there's a chance that, well, you still have to go through the settings and everything, but still. The fact that you can actually use the Bluetooth now.
Alright.
Oh yeah, when Nintendo updates their system and everything, they update the system for everything. It's not just like for select systems. That's why even during the last direct, when they were talking about the change for a lot of the digital copies to become more like digital cards, like I had no worry because I knew that that also meant that my thing was gonna go into being that as well. You know? To bring back to the camera, yeah, no, a lot of these games I don't play anyway, so it's kind of like I don't really want to use camera.
Yeah, no. Yeah, at best, this is kind of similar to when we went to main event and like Mario Kart thing, and they just asked for a photo.
Yeah, the owner.
Oh, that's the upgrade pack. Okay.
Yeah, because because ones like this where it kind of adds on a little something extra, they kind of say like, hey, you have to pay for this upgrade pack in order to actually do all this stuff. Because it's not because with this, it's not just like upgrading the like visuals or anything like that. It's also the fact that it's adding on to the game, which is exactly what they're also doing with the Kirby game, the Forgotten Land or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are also getting a upgrade, but it has to be a paid upgrade.
Oh, and then bringing in Tears of the King.
Yeah, which is actually funny because a lot of people were like really upset that the Switch 2 didn't come out at the same time as Tears of the Kingdom.
That would have been amazing, honestly. But yeah, stuff with the Nintendo Switch app.
Yeah,
Which, if I remember right, there was like, oh yeah, this thing where like you could basically ask for directions. Part of me is like, probably could have just done that through a game map guide somebody made. Like, hey, you're here, go to this direction to that direction.
I mean, you could, but I think the reason like for this is because like it connects well enough to the game where it can see like where you are and what direction you need to go. Whereas like how you said, if you were to go to an online site to take a look at it, like you would have to manually find out where you are in the world by using your own like mini map or by opening up the map itself to try and take a look around. And then even sometimes you would even have to guess like, okay, it's gotta be this far away. And even then, like if you don't, if it's not something that's obviously visible, sometimes somebody can just miss it. God, I was up late. I was up late last night trying to watch not only people talking about like the pricing of the games and everything coming out, but also a few things about people, about celebrities having meltdowns and
And
the.
meltdowns for what?
I mean, first of all, there's Rachel Zegler having a meltdown because nobody wanted to go see Snow White.
Oh, that's
And
what you meant. Okay, that's what you meant over the just like celebrities.
no, there's a few people online who are constantly yelling out like, "Why is this going on? What's with the pricing? Is it even worth it at this point?" It's like, will you people shut up?
I'm still buying it only because I don't have a Switch yet, and it's like if I'm gonna get a Switch, I might as well get this one. I am questioning if this will somehow end up being like a Wii U situation.
A lot of people were thinking that, but the way I see it, this is actually gonna still be better than the Wii U for at least three different reasons. First of all, this one has a lot more like first party games coming to it. Because we already have Metroid, we already have Pokemon's Legends, and then of course there's the Mario Kart, which is actually a lot better than how 8 was back then.
This is what I'm talking about. You can play the Switch 2 edition by purchasing the upgrade pack,
Yeah, with a lot of
which is
these you
probably
do.
what confused me. But after what you said, like it makes sense.
But yeah, just the fact that the Switch 2 is gonna have like a lot more first party games to it rather than the Wii U. Because if you don't remember, the Wii U had very little like first party things. I think the only ones I can remember right now is uh, the Legend of Zelda, the uh, God, not the Tear Breath of the Wild. That's right. Because Breath of the Wild came out on the Wii U, and then there was the Mario Kart 8. But then everything else was more or less like from other people. Like there was a zombies game for some reason. There was a Batman game that already was out on other consoles. It was just the fact that this time,
Oh, they made it for the Wii.
well, no, the fact that the Wii U pad you can use Batman's gadgets
Ah,
rather than just selecting like what gadget you want to use for the like when you play on the Xbox and all
I haven't seen this game. It finally clicked to me that they look like Tom from Tsunami,
that. Yeah, kind of.
except they're in wheelchair.
I'll say the fact that they made a game like this is kind of cool, but also a little bit weird.
It is to me. Like, yeah, that's representation and everything, and in a weird way, that's just kind of neat.
Yeah.
I just wish they did more. So far, it's just like playing. It's like Rocket League and basketball combined. But like, I feel like they could do more to make it like really unique. Like, this better just be tutorial level. Like, you better have extra shit.
I mean, obviously the game already allows you to use the controllers to do more than just like steer and everything.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't paying a lot of attention, like you can also make the hands like wave and do gestures and such.
Yeah, that part was like I saw it. I'm like, how do you? I assume like you have to press a different front button, another ball, or like.
No, I think it's just the fact that you gotta take them off like whatever surface, and then it'll just be like, okay, you're not gonna be controlling the wheels anymore. You're mainly just gonna be like trying to do gestures or trying to make throws or whatever.
Yeah. There's this game, and to me at least, for some reason, I was thinking like, would this game be impressive if I saw this like 20 years ago? And part of me is like, oh yeah, this is Skyrim, of course. You know, Elden Ring. I don't know. Fuck me. All right.
I mean,
I think it was the next game that they were going to show, but I don't remember
20 years ago, Skyrim was the most impressive thing. So.
who it was.
Honestly, it didn't surprise me so much that they were bringing Elder Scrolls to this, with the fact that when the original Switch came out, they brought over Skyrim and everything. So it was kind of like, yeah, the next logical thing would definitely be like Elden Rings, if not like maybe uh another Souls like game. I want to say like uh fuck, why is my mind drawing a blank? For some reason, I want to say Demon Souls. that was I'm pretty sure that was a PlayStation like only kind of game. But yeah, even this game, I'm not entirely sure if I want to get it.
Here's the thing: I bought Tekken before, and I played it like once or twice, but only because like it was my brother's console. I thought like, oh, I just come over a lot often, and then I just never did. And so it's like, wow, I wasted money on a game that I played twice, and at best I went through like a tenth of the. I don't even think I went through story mode. Honestly, I think I just like fought 10 matches. That's it. Because the idea was like, oh, I'm gonna be really good. Then I'm a pro player, and I just gave no commitment to it. Like, I think if I had it in my house, it'd be different. But because I had to go somewhere else, I was like, I don't want.
That definitely seems like it would be a deciding factor.
Yeah, I should have thought that through, but it's too late.
I mean, at the very least, with this new console, you don't have to go to somebody else's house.
I don't, and I can just play online with you guys because this is actually a game you can play online.
Yeah, that is actually true.
That right? Like I can play Mario Kart with you guys. Like we don't have to be in the same place.
Yeah, no, because that's what they were showing at the beginning. Like,
Oh,
technically,
that's right. The 4 people there.
yeah, technically you can be like in different locations and everything, and use their like downgraded version of Discord to try and talk to each other.
What makes it downgraded?
Well, what makes it downgraded to me is the fact that I think you can only do up to 4 people. Because we didn't see them try to bring in like even a 5th person to do anything.
That's true, and it make me question because like if you can do 24 players, but how would this work? Because I assume like it wouldn't do it then. It's just like it's only 4 people if you do it with the camera, but if you wanted to play 24 people, you'd have to do it without the camera.
I can only imagine when they do the Mario Kart thing, if they do like 24 people all talking together, it's probably just gonna be like over game chat itself rather than just like a group chat.
Yeah, that's a lot of stream. Yeah, that's gonna.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically, if you get the game, yeah, we can all pretty much be in our own homes and everything and just play the game however.
Oh yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. No,
Yeah, I heard a lot of
but
people.
also,
I already heard a lot of people saying, "Oh boy, let's get back to those controversies when this comes."
yeah, I kind of forgot, and then like, oh yeah, there's controversy. I forgot what it was exactly. I think it was just because J.K. Rowling was saying like, oh yeah, Dumbledore has always been gay. I've been hinting at it, and he like 180s.
I don't entirely remember what a lot of it was, but what I do remember is I bought the game for Steam, and I barely even played it.
So.
I played for a little bit. I did some things,
Oh.
but it was kind of like I didn't get to a good point to where a lot of people would say that it was interesting enough to stop.
Is that when you asked like for me to do a test and like am I up as self?
Yeah.
Or is that a separate thing?
No, that was just for that.
Okay.
Yeah, because apparently in the game, if you link the game to your Hogwarts account, you basically get like a robe and other stuff that represents the group you're a part of. So when I did that, yeah, I didn't have to go through the sorting hat questions or anything.
Oh.
Yeah, I just linked my account, and the moment like you get to the part with the sorting hat, it's all like, okay, so you're Slytherin. That's good to know. And I think even I think with those quizzes and everything, it also does a whole entire thing with the wands where like you pick out like different kind of questions and everything, and then it tells you what kind of wand you would have. And in the game, yeah, when you go to grab your wand, they just automatically give it to you. You don't have to go through another set of questions or anything. So part of me kind of wants to get the game for the Switch, just to be all like, let me see if I can do these questions on there, see what I get.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Do you
the
do the same?
hmm?
Do it or not?
No,
Okay.
like I said, I only played it for Steam, and that was only for a little bit. I have yet to I have yet to try to get it for the Switch currently. If anything, I might wait until like the Switch 2 and then get it.
Gotcha.
But let's see what else is there. Oh yeah, with games like this, it was kind of weird to understand at first, but apparently with these games, they don't give you like the actual game in the box or anything. It's more like how do I say? It's more like they give you like a blank cartridge that kind of has like a code to it, and then if you insert that cartridge into the Switch, you still have to download the game. But once you insert the cartridge, you can play the game once it's done downloading.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the whole entire thing kind of confuses me a bit, but
Yeah, like what was the point of that? That's like you could have just given him a digital code. Same thing.
I think that was the issue. Like a lot of people saw that there was like digital download, uh, physical boxes, and a lot of them made so many complaints about it. Because I know I thought it was stupid because they did that. Because first of all, they did that shit with Fortnite. So any parent going out, any parent that went out and bought their kids like a Fortnite game from Walmart or GameStop or even Best Buy, it's kind of like, lady, you didn't actually look too deeply at the box, did you? You just saw that it was Fortnite, thought that your kid might like it, so you just bought it. It's like the game is free on the system. It's just what you bought was basically the equivalent of just buying one of those V Buck card things.
Ah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think it's more. I think it's a little more like if you buy the game when it's like if you buy the game pack when it advertises like a certain thing on it, like that one time that some of them advertise like snow, like
No, I think I'm sure.
yeah, I think when you buy the game case when it has like that kind of display on it, you technically buy the equipment for that rather than just buying the V Bucks for them to get it little by little.
Yeah.
Yeah. But either way, it was still like a really stupid idea for them to do.
It is. And like at best, it's like, oh, you bought some box art. That's about it.
Yeah,
But it's like the point of it then, because this is pretty. Like the box itself is like cheap as shit. Like if they made it more like steel box and then, like, other stuff in there, like more game guides or like a detailed map, building, or something. Like, all right, you could at least justify it a
yeah,
bit more. But if it's just like, here is what you would bought like in the game, but you don't really need to buy it because you just got to download it and it would have been the same thing. But you have this box now.
yeah. Because at the very least, I would have thrown in like something physical, like maybe a pin or maybe like a sticker pack or something in with one of those boxes.
Yeah.
Kind of like make it feel like it's worth something getting than just like simple code for a game to get items.
Yeah. Because like as soon as again like they decide like, oh, we're not gonna support the game anymore, or we're gonna turn off the server. Well, you bought nothing. Bought like a limited time subscription to a game. Now you have the thing. Even if you have the physical card, did you put it in? It's like, oh, we need to connect to the server. Oh, the server doesn't exist. Well, you don't get to play the game anymore.
Yeah, that's. I don't know if it was you or if it was somebody that I was watching last night because my memories of that are kind of
I'm
jumbled
pretty
in.
sure it's
But I remember hearing from somebody saying basically what you're buying a lot of times with even stuff like that Bravely Default thing. It has the key card thing in it rather than the game itself. They said what you're basically buying here is a very expensive brick, and it's kind of like true. I mean, at the very least, like you're buying a very expensive brick, but then again, at the very least, with stuff like that, you are still buying the game itself, rather than something like Fortnite, where again the game is free and everything. You're just buying like add-ons to it. So you're still buying the game. You're still getting the box. At the very least, like it still seems like somewhat of a win if you do it like that, rather than just like a game for, rather than just a box with a code in it or something completely useless that's gonna probably get deleted later on. Because, like you said, even if a game gets shut down and the servers are gone, well, if you do that with one of those games, yeah, technically the game is no longer going to be playable and all that. But at the very least, you didn't buy it on something stupid that's just like gone forever. That can't be ever come back. You still had like something that you enjoyed, something that was played with a lot, as well as like a really nice box art. Oh yeah, and a lot of people were freaking out about the GameCube coming.
Oh yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, nice. And I was like, Tales of Darkness. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I never played that game, so when I saw it and Coliseum,
was there. Ooh, ooh,
yeah,
ooh.
when I saw both of those, I was all like, "Oh my god, this can be a chance I can finally do this."
I know.
And not only that, but I already have a GameCube controller.
Here's the thing. You know how like transfer games over?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Pokemon over to other games?
Yep.
I had to wonder if they're gonna do that again. Not that they have it.
I heard some people talking about that. It is a question, but then again, with the fact that now, back then, that used to be done like kind of through a wire from
Yeah.
the.
So I have to wonder how that worked. If they do plan on doing it.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, it used to be like you hook up one wire to your Game Boy, and another one up to the GameCube, and then it was just kind of like a transfer between the two. But nowadays, you don't really have that. It's more just like Pokemon Home, where you can just like wirelessly send Pokemon back and forth between all these different games. Which, I mean, the new way is good and all, but it's kind of like, yeah, will you at least give us a chance to do this for Coliseum?
I never did it, but like even then, it's like that seems kind of nice, honestly. Like you're bringing back these other games that you can play, and if you wanted to, you can actually transfer a Pokemon from that game to your game, vice versa.
Yeah, because I certainly know I have like a God of War, an Absol, and a few other Gen 3 kind of characters. They're like high enough level to where I can probably use them in Coliseum. Actually, no. Let me actually grab my Switch and take a look. Because it has been, I don't know, probably months since I last used this thing. I mean, I took a look at it at some points recently, but still, it's giving me a lot of, like, it's telling me a lot of news about things that have just already happened, especially this that we're looking at right now. Oh
I
yeah,
don't really care
Borderlands
about
4.
this, but I assume for you it would be great.
Honestly, I've only ever played 3, and that was just to try and do something popular on stream.
For me, I think I was gonna try to go for Undertale and then play Deus. So that's me. I like Civilization, but I have not played that game in so long.
I've never played it. It always seemed like it was a little too thinking for me.
Somehow I just kept winning on it, but I don't think I went with the hardest difficulty. So that's probably why I won a lot. But even then, it's like it didn't have this kind of animation, and I think I didn't pay like this wasn't one of those free games. I actually like paid money for that game. It was like $7 or maybe 14. I forget back then. So I think it's still actually downloaded to my phone. I bought it on an iPod. Thankfully, Apple lets you actually move that shit, provided that the game company still exists and updates it because they changed. Where it's like, oh yeah, you have to update the game every 3 months.
Ooh.
Otherwise, you can't.
Actually, this is the funny part because it was around here that the stream for America kind of just shut down right there. Yeah, it was at that moment where he was throwing the wood into the box.
Damn.
The whole entire stream just messed up so badly. Because I remember I tried to watch it like right after they got done with the live stream, but then like for some reason the American version that I was watching said that it was it didn't say it was taken down. It said that it was moved to a private playlist and everything. So I couldn't really watch it anymore. When I saw that, I was like, "What? Why? Why was it moved automatically to a private playlist? Like, what was going on here?" So I went over and I watched the UK version, and everything was good. It was still open to the public and everything. But I still didn't know why the American one was moved. And it wasn't until like I saw some other people reacting that I was like, okay, that's probably why they moved it because they were trying to, because they were either trying to fix something or delete something so where they could actually put it up on YouTube now. Because I think it was at the end of this one that it finally came back up for America. Honestly, I wouldn't mind playing this game either. It seems kind of interesting.
Not into my list, but I don't know. It'd be one of those things where like, give me 5 minutes, see if I get interested. Like you have to like get me real quick through that tutorial because I don't want to do tutorials.
Yeah, no, I kind of get you on that.
It looks nice though. But it's weird. It says like it's coming next year.
I mean, it's kind of a good thing that it won't be coming in until next year.
Speaking of
Yes.
Cyberpunk, I keep forgetting about it. Like, because I keep thinking about when it initially launched and everything was like broken, essentially. But then they did fix it, but like, kind of destroyed your own fucking audience because you released a shit game. Well, it was a good game, but like, you released it with so many bugs that people were more interested in like, what kind of bugs? What other bugs can I find?
Yeah. Which I mean, which I mean, it's kind of funny because I recently got it for, well, not recently. I think I got it for Steam like earlier this year, like in January or something like that. But yeah, I got it for Steam, and when I was just playing by myself, I was just playing like off stream. Like it was kind of janky still, because during the first cutscene where it was kind of like V and Jackie going around and talking and everything, like I saw Jackie just there like T posing and moving around.
That's what it was.
I looked at that, I was like, This game is not fixed still. This game is still broke.
Also, one of the games that I just remember that I just saw, Yakuza. Probably a game I would probably try to get. I'm gonna try that one.
I
Or is
mean,
it like a Yakuza or something like that? I forget what it was.
no, the one that's coming to the Switch 2 is gonna be Yakuza 0.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, because I've been meaning to. Because I always see the characters and it's because of that one scene where it's like it's Boogie Time or it's Friday night. I forget what it was in there. Two dudes dancing. Like, all right, I want to play this game. Hopefully the game sells me by then.
Hopefully it sells me.
I mean, it's gonna suck if like it's at the very end and like I still don't give a shit about the game. Damn, that was one powerful meme.
I mean, I feel like we would definitely have a good time with it, especially with the fact that I don't. For me, it would be the fact that I would have a good time with like the way the fighting system is, with it being more of a beat 'em up. With you, you probably have more of a interesting time with the karaoke.
I probably would. I don't know what I have to do into karaoke, but I mean,
I mean, with karaoke, at the very least, you have to keep in rhythm with the buttons. So
I don't know. I remember playing like really games. Yeah, I can.
I remember playing rhythm games on my phone, so I might have a chance.
Yes. Tata Revolution, Tata Revolution 2, Tata Revolution 3, Tata Revolution 4, Tata Revolution 2.5. That aren't making shit up right now. I don't know.
I won't, because I won't ever try to actually look it up.
That or was like Tata Revolution R 2R or something like reverse. I don't remember. That or I had that was just a wild dream I had.
I mean, could be either or, who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Never know.
But yeah, I'm looking at a lot of my Pokemon here on my Switch and everything. There are quite a few that I forgot they were on here. Like the fact that I had a level 1 Baneri, a level 1 Absol, and even the level 1 Lucario. Yeah, because I remember thinking like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. I can actually like breed these Pokemon and then put them into the next game when it comes out and everything. Yeah, which I don't think. Which Scarlet and Violet, I don't think they had Lucario. I mean, wait, maybe they also didn't have Lucario. They didn't. They definitely didn't have Absol in the base game, so I couldn't do that. I don't think Baneri either. So yeah, the three of them were kind of like meh. Like I think I would have to have gotten the DLC in order to do them, but it's kind of like no, I played enough of the game. I think I'm good now.
Sure.
Because I had never gone back to that. I didn't even get the DLCs for them.
So, quick question: have you did Pokemon Battle with other people before?
Are you talking about the on the TCG or the?
No, like actual just Pokemon, not the trading card game.
Oh no, I've never done any kind of like Pokemon battles with an actual person. I find it
Okay.
way too competitive.
That too, but like I think I might have with my brother because we had the cord
Mhm.
and we both had an SD, or maybe one of us had the Game Boy Color and the other one had the Game Boy Advance. We were able to do
I would have
it.
no.
I remember we traded Pokemon, but even then, it's like we still couldn't get everything. I kind of forgot at that point, but it was always kind of neat to do it. And now I'm like, oh hey, yeah, all those Pokemons you used to like play with, yeah, it turns out they're dog shit. These are the better ones. Like what the? I would never choose these Pokemon. Exactly. That's why you are not a Pokemon master. But the game said I was. Yeah, that was a participation trophy.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, uh,
Yeah, that Stadium Coliseum, whatever the tower.
well, not only that, there is this one series on YouTube called Rusty version, Pokemon Rusty version.
I think I've seen some.
And there was one episode where some guy was talking to Rusty about doing IVs, I think he was saying like EVs, stats, and all this kind of stuff. I looked at him, I'm like, I am the kind of person who does not give a shit about this.
I didn't either.
Like, I would not actually use like I would not actually use these kind of things to up a Pokemon's special defense or anything like that, unless like it was for my unless it was technically for my Rolts to go and be a Gardevoir, because at the very least that I didn't want my Rolts to get knocked out or anything too soon. I at least wanted it to try and level up naturally, which was kind of hard because Rolts actually has a really bad defense because it's a child Pokemon. So
So easy to beat up that child.
yes, a lot of one of the things that a lot of very competitive Pokemon players say it was very easy to beat up that child.
It wasn't even a challenge.
It was a challenge. Did you see their lineup? They might as well have been Bug Catcher on Route 1. Okay.
But where's it? I know that's a phrase from some.
I definitely know, like, it's a mocking thing to kind of say, like, to talk about bug catchers and everything. But, yeah, like I said, I don't play competitive because a lot of people kind of get too far into it and everything.
Yeah, I don't want to do that kind of competitive. At best, it's like, yeah, the Pokemon I choose are better than you. Everybody's, these sets, this IV, not into that. The cool looking Pokemon, choose the moves I want. They
Yeah, that's why during any of the games, I know it's of course like a childish thing that you would always used to do when you were like 5 or something, but I would never like willingly let my Pokemon learn something like Growl or Sword Dance or anything like that.
Yeah, I get you because
Like,
it's like it's not an attack move. It does no damage. Why would I want this?
yeah, and it's kind of like, oh well, that's the whole point. You're supposed to get the accuracy down. You're supposed to get the speed down, and it's kind of like, okay. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
that's
that means I'm just letting them have a free hit.
yeah,
Yeah, stuff like
yeah. Because what's actually funny about that too is when you think about like how the game version works versus how it could actually work in real life. Like, first of all, the only move that I can see being really useful in real life, it actually seems kind of sucky in the video game,
yeah.
is double team. Because the way that the anime makes it seem, it's kind of like Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Basically, like yeah, just a bunch of like, oh, you didn't hit me, you hit my shadow. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
You're that fast?
Yeah, it's kind of like when I see that kind of thing, it's kind of like that would be the only move that would be valuable to use in real life rather than just in the game.
Yeah.
And not
especially if you can run away while leaving that after image.
yeah, and not only that, but with the fact that the way the Pokemon is going now, where you can like freely move around, your Pokemon can even move around with you.
Yeah.
It's almost like, wow, I don't really need those stat lowering moves anymore. Like I can just simply run around the person and just attack from behind if I want.
I just never played the game, so I didn't know you could. But like as soon as I was seeing Legends EA, I'm like, huh.
Yeah, no, Legends EA is like the only one where you can like move around and your Pokemon can move around during battle.
Yeah, and I was like, why did it take me so long to do this again? Anyway,
I mean, first of all, it looks like a really like awesome kind of way to do Pokemon battles. It looks like more of a realistic way to do Pokemon battles, I should say, because when you're doing an actual battle, especially when you're watching it in the shows,
yeah.
nobody's willing like to give up like nobody's willingly letting their Pokemon get hit or anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, you gotta find out a way to dodge it. You gotta find a way to move around them. You gotta find a way to like get away from that obvious attack that's coming at you.
Yeah, and apparently you have enough time to both respond to it and then tell the command to the Pokemon. Whereas for some reason the Pokemon is just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, because in the game, it's kind of like none of that is going on. It's just simply there. It's all like, uh, like
And even then, like when you think about it, like with Pokemon, like there was the move sets, and like there was no time limit. You could like let that buddy take however long you wanted to, like until you click, your Pokemon's alive, and the other person has not attacked since.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy when you think about it. Like you're just like given all the time you want. Look at your storage, like, oh, what do I have in my bag? Oh, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna use the attack that I was gonna do. I just took an hour looking through all my stuff, like thinking, like, do I want to heal him? Do I not? Do I want to rev this Pokemon? Will I survive this move? I'll be fine. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's also kind of funny because when I think about it, like there were a few times where they're in the middle of a battle, like I would just be there battling somebody, but then it's kind of like, you know, I'm kind of hungry. Let me go get something to eat. I leave for like
Yeah.
30 minutes or an hour, come back, and it's kind of like, oh, that's right. I was in the middle of an actual battle.
Yeah.
It's like in real life, that would not be. That person sees you leave your Pokemon behind. That Pokemon is actively getting smashed. But yeah, like, let's see. What was the
How do
original
you feel about this one?
DK? I mean, the game looks good.
Just interesting. I probably wouldn't mind trying it a bit.
I was gonna say the gameplay looks good and everything. I'm just not too much of a fan of the new way that Donkey Kong looks.
It does look different to me. I'll agree with you there.
Yeah, because I think they tried to use the model from the movie version.
Oh, I think I heard something. Like they changed DK's look, where it doesn't even look like him, but you know it is him.
Yeah,
But it's like if you got rid of the tie and you just saw it, like, is this an AI generated?
yeah, especially with those like dark lines under the eyes and everything. Like, oh, let me see if I can get back to that point because
You could probably just left click, not left click. Oh, there you go.
yeah, this is good enough. Yeah, dark, the darkness around his eyes and everything. Yeah, that doesn't look all that great for
I
him.
think this one's closer to how it looked like in the original, the one that he was throwing barrels at Mario, like that, but like now not 2D. That's like I remember seeing it. Like someone was telling me like, oh yeah, they used this one, or like it's a mixture of two things. And I heard like somebody say like, oh, it looks like Diddy Kong, but like older somehow.
I'll say what's funny enough is the moment I saw him come on when it was just a silhouette. For some reason, the alternate version of the DK song came in my head, where it was all like, and then there's Chunky, he's dead. I I don't know why that came in my head. Like just the fact that that one moment, like I guess I knew there was Donkey Kong. There was a Donkey Kong game at that moment. It was kind of like I somehow feel like this is fucked.
Absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't look good, but I mean, the gameplay might actually be nice. I have no idea. And it comes a month. It comes out a month after the Switch 2. So
Oh yeah, the July 17th. I forget what 7 is, but yeah, definitely.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's July. But you know what? Thinking about it in a certain way, it's actually kind of funny because I'm pretty sure they have this game marketed to be right before summer for a lot of kids because because it's coming out on June 5th, which is a Thursday. So I don't know about a lot of kids. I think back when I was little, there were like maybe one or two times where it was kind of like right before the last day something happened, and my parents told me like, "Oh well, if you don't want to go to school tomorrow, you don't have to. Like it's the last day of school anyways. Nobody cares."
They're gonna go for the monkey.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure if parents give their option nowadays, it's more likely because the parents bought this for the kids and were able to get it Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you don't have to go to school tomorrow. You can go ahead and just stay home and start playing your new Switch game.
Yeah, when I think about back back then, it's like there's definitely like a few kids in class that just didn't show up for last day of school, and it's like I'm there. It's like, man, you could have just showed up. There's nothing wrong with it. But now I'm like thinking about it. It's like, damn, that's an extra day I could have had.
Yeah, Yeah, because like most people don't think too much on it. Like unless it's like high school or like technically like your last year of high school, you technically don't need that last day of school.
Like you, like especially it's your senior year. It's like, well, you're not coming back. You already got everything you need. You just need to pick up the graduation thing, and then that's it.
I think that's just it. Like when you're a senior and everything, you do have to show up for that last day. Because I think my school, I'm pretty sure my school had a rule to where like if you didn't participate in the practice, you couldn't actually graduate with your class.
No, yeah, you have to do the practice thing, but well, actually, it depends. Like there's probably like some circumstances where like you could still like not do it, but
I feel like that's only
don't.
like if you were like sick or something.
Yeah, like something. I don't know. The more I think about it, I
That's
don't
what,
remember. It's so long ago. It's 10 plus years at this point.
yeah, but that's what I mean. Like back, say even during middle school, during
Yeah.
that last day before you become a high schooler and everything, nobody really cares if you showed up that last day of school. Like
Yeah,
you just
I bet this is like your last time to see and meet some friends,
yeah
because like you guys are just gonna unfortunately either go to different schools or like you guys are not gonna be able to meet up during the summer.
yeah, which is kind of understandable. Like if you want to stay and go to school and everything because you know you're not going to see them, that's one thing. But if y'all are also going to like the same school and everything the next year, it's like, do you want to just stay home the last day of school? Like nothing's really gonna happen. Y'all probably just gotta sit around, watch a movie, or just
That
do
was the
something.
best. Don't get me wrong. Movie days is like shit.
I'm not gonna lie, it was good. A lot of the classes were kind of like, okay, last week of school, y'all want to just watch a movie and all that. But it's
Yeah,
also
bring
like,
some pizza, some ice cream, cake, plates, some fruit punch. Good.
but you know what the funny thing is? Think of all that, but without having to deal with going to different classes for this exact same thing. That's pretty much just home. Like during the last like 2, even 3 days of school, like everything that they would have been doing for the kids, they could have just done at home.
They could have, but be able to enjoy it with other people.
No,
If you
that,
liked them. If you didn't, like, well, that's just torture. It's like, damn it, I get free food, but like, I have to do with these assholes.
that's what I mean. Like you could have done all the same things, except you could have done all the same things, except for walking through the halls, the crowded halls, I might say, because my school was packed full. Uh, the fact that you could have watched a single movie the entire time and not have to worry about putting on like several different movies all in one day and not even finishing a single one.
Just realized, like, chances are, 'cause I remember, did I have different teachers every time? I think every class was slightly different. Like, except for elementary school, middle school, and high school, you would always have a different teacher for every class.
Yeah,
Except for like maybe one or two that just happened to be like taught that class too. But, but like, if you were the teacher and you're showing a movie, you're watching the same movie 7 times or eight, depending or four, depending on how many classes you had in a single.
yeah.
Holy shit, that sucks for the teacher. It's like I get
I
to
didn't.
watch this part again.
I mean, that's kind of the funny thing because if you're the teacher, you're technically playing a movie that you yourself want to see.
Yeah,
So,
until you realize like I'm watching the same part of this 7 times.
I mean, you are technically watching the same part 7 times, but then it's kind of like once the last class leaves, like you can just watch the rest of it. You don't even have to turn off the TV. The final bell rings. Okay, everybody out. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this.
Yeah. But no, now I remember. I think like what I saw was that sometimes the teacher wasn't paying attention to the class because they were on their computer doing stuff.
I'd
So it's like
100% be doing a computer
I
game.
I absolutely agree because like you either already watched it or you don't get to watch the entire thing. So it's like why even bother?
Honestly, what I find would have been amazing is if the school got, if all the teachers and everything got together and was all like, okay, let's go ahead and just have all the kids here in the cafeteria, and we'll go ahead and lower the uh, white screen,
Yeah,
get a projector, and we'll just go ahead and put on a movie for everybody to watch the entire day.
that's kind of cool.
During lunchtime, we'll go ahead and pause the movie real quick. That way, all the kids can have lunch all at once. And after about 30 minutes to an hour, we can just put the movie back on again. Like that would have been an obvious move to do.
Here's the thing. Part of me still like wishes we could do something like that at work,
Hmm.
where it's just like you just want to go and just hang out at work, like the break lounge. Here it is, just a private school movie screening. But I also feel people make fucking hell. I rarely see an actual mess, but even then, it's like as soon as you introduce the idea of a movie theater, it's like it's gonna.
100%. Because unless you're the recent Snow White movie, like there's always gonna be a mess in theaters.
That's true. Well,
I,
no. If anything, that's a bigger mess.
not by what I was seeing in some of the comments. There's actually. Do you remember how last time when you came over, we were playing? I was playing to you the singing comment video.
Yes.
There was a new
Yeah.
one that came out. There was a fourth one for Snow White.
Oh, fourth video.
Yeah,
Or,
fourth video singing some.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, there were already
Makes
three,
sense.
and then not too long ago, like they put out
Yeah.
a fourth one.
Yeah, I
of
still
singing
like the comment
comments.
of like, if this was the movie inside of a plane, I'd have walked out.
Yeah, like there's the fourth one. In hell, it gets even harder because some people are saying like, "Wow, that day theaters, they must really have gotten the janitors the day off."
Yeah.
And some people even kept up with the whole entire like Disney, please don't show me by saying like Disney promised to have this out in theaters. Please know I have children. So yeah, like a lot of people are still really shitting on it to the point to where I actually haven't checked Adam. I should actually try to do
You know
that
what?
right now.
Right now, because well, how much is left from that 3 minutes?
Yeah, well, I mean, I already
Was there anything else?
no. The last thing that was on this was just the Donkey Kong thing, which we already kind of went through. It was just
Yeah.
I rewound it to show off Donkey
Yeah,
again.
just his face. There wasn't really much words. Like I'm still questioning everything, but I just feel like at least if I buy this, I'd have something. Like at least with you guys,
Yeah,
it's a little bit more because I was like, much as we like talking, it
Mhm.
would be kind of nice just to like be able to like hang out with you guys without actually meeting up.
yeah. Well, I mean, I usually do like offer like Discord to do stuff like this.
Yeah, but it's kind of like hard. It's like it's not the same as like front to face. Whereas if we're playing a game while we're doing it, it's like okay, that's just side to side thing.
That is actually kind of true. Like, at the very least, I already have a camera and everything myself, so I could just set it up to where y'all see me when we're playing. But yeah, that's all I was even telling my friend Dark. The fact that if he gets the if he gets the new console and everything, and he gets the new Mario World, we could probably just do like a quick little race or two, and then just go into right into free roaming.
Yeah,
Because honestly, that's the best part to me, just the free roaming.
I have to wonder if like what they're gonna do in the future events is like they'll hide some like great things around where like if you're the first one, you get like a special for like an avatar, different, or maybe like in the future they'll have like certain events that occur in a certain part of the free roam area.
I'm not entirely sure, but I did kind of want to show off a little bit of this because there was one thing that definitely caught my eye when I was watching other people talk to it.
The cow.
No, not the cow. That's a little strange.
No,
I
that's the best part.
I don't know what's up with the cow
Finally
thing.
gave us the cow. Yeah.
No, it was the fact that there was like different kind of costume changes and everything, and I've seen some people try to like reason with it, try to find out like what could have make the costume change happen. Maybe it's the location, maybe it's the item that you eat, because we see Mario eat a burger and then he changes. I think what changes the outfit is the type of vehicle you're in, because of course this one right here, it's looks like a nice little car and everything, and she looks like she's going for a Sunday drive.
Yeah, that's what I was
And then this one is supposed to be like a fish motorcycle,
yeah.
so she has like a kimono and everything.
It's hard for me to tell if it is or not, but
Well, I mean,
Like she's from a festival, which is why she has the boo mask side.
there's definitely the boom mask, but then there's also the fact that she's wearing sandals.
Oh, I see the symbol.
If you look closely at this, or
For me, it was kind of hard to know what I was looking at right there, but it looks more like kimono.
yeah, especially if you look right here closer to her waist, you can actually see that little band.
And the sleeve.
Yeah. But yeah, just this whole entire game is extremely interesting. I've already said multiple times already in this recording that I would 100% buy this game, even with the pricing it is right now.
Yeah, how much is it for also the? Because I assume if it's $4.49 just for the game, I mean, the console, this game's like $80 more. We're looking at like $5.39,
No, so the
$5.49.
no, so the console by itself is 450, but with the game included, it's 500.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
so it adds in just about like $50 more if you bundle it. But the reason a lot of people are confused on how it's going on is the fact that the game shows to be like $80. So let me put it in here real quick. How much is the new?
There you go.
Yeah, how much is the new?
$79.99, but buy it with the bundle $4.99.
Yeah,
It's not bad.
yeah. So that's what I was saying. Like over here in the U.S., it's $80 for a physical, which yeah, a lot of people again have been looking at it from $90 for some reason.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Like, there's gonna be $80 or $90, but I guess that might be why.
Yeah, yeah. Because again, if you look over in like the UK and everything, everything is a higher price than it is over here in America,
Yeah,
and a lot of that is because like the euro is higher value than the dollar itself. So obviously, $80 over here would definitely be easily 90, if not more, over there. So it kind of does make a little bit of sense. But so the game seems like the way the game seem is definitely worth it to me. Not only for the fact that there's multiple carts, as we can. Well, I'm not even showing this part right now. There are multiple carts. There's 24 people that can play all at once. The fact that the outfits change at certain points, depending on the vehicle, depending on like where you are, whatever. Also, the fact that now there's no more of this parasol.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because as you've been seeing, like they haven't actually been using a parasol. It's been turning into the bikes and cars into like a plane, into boats, and all these things. Even the one area where,
Yeah, there.
yeah, even the. Let me go back. Go a moment because it's a little bit past. Even that with the snowmobile and everything in the snowy area, DK looks a whole lot better. Like I guess the image is because of that. Because a lot of DK stuff around the Mario world is that. But yeah, just the fact that a lot of these, just the fact that a lot of these things are changing so much, and it looks a whole lot smoother than it did for any of the other games. So yeah, it being a little bit of a higher price, I'm not too concerned about. The fact that there's more of a challenge to be in first place, but there's more of a guarantee of staying in first place as well. And yeah, honestly, the wall jump thing is kind of crazy too. But yeah, cars can be bigger. I guess some people have like a special thing with them, and even this, with the fact that
Oh, I
there's
see.
stuff on the side that you can use. Yeah, honestly, Peach getting into these different outfits is already gonna
Wait,
be.
did we just see change? Right then and there?
Yeah, well, that was the thing that we were talking about not too long ago.
Yeah, but
How he eats the bird and everything, and he goes off and changes.
yeah.
Luigi, I have no idea what he changes into a farmer.
That'll be peaceful life.
And then yeah, also, like I was saying, like Peach going into her different outfits, it'd
Yeah.
honestly be like fan service for a lot of people.
Okay, no, she didn't change it right there. Just but we did see other ones.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this whole entire thing is just fantastic looking, and the fact that they have this large open world to do as well. um,
I
yeah,
guess if I want to end this, the fact that like Mario, well, I guess Nintendo making $80 games now. Grand Theft Auto might actually cost $100 when it comes. Like it's becoming more realistic. It just passing the $70 mark on games like Grand Theft Auto might actually Auto 6 should probably be over 80. Might even be
I mean, we would also still have to think about like how we were talking about earlier when we were downstairs. More likely, a lot of this is happening with Nintendo because a lot of their IP is from Japan, and with Trump putting on a tariff and everything for a lot of like export goods, more likely they would have to raise the pricing to the point to where they have to make more money back than they did before.
I mean, yes and no. It's one of those weird things where, like, this just gives an excuse for U.S. companies to charge more now, because like all they have to do is just be cheaper than their counterpart,
Yeah.
which with the increase means they can now be 20%. It'd still be cheaper. One of those things where like tariff really doesn't help. It's supposed to, but then you realize like, oh, you just punished everybody
Yeah.
except for the ultra rich. They're like, more money.
Yeah, I guess with a lot of people, like even us, it seems more like this kind of development will probably push us more into going onto credit sites where like we have them pay for the item, but we just pay them slowly over time.
Well, I don't want to do that
I'm,
personally, but you have been getting there more and more. You're worrying.
I mean, it does mean that I can spend a lot more.
That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to try to save it up.
I don't know, but that is the kind of thing that it seems like we might be going to, even if it's not
It's
through,
where you're going.
even if it's not through like the sites I've been using.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, the bank is probably still going to be like that as well. So where at some point it's going to be like, okay, we can go ahead and do this for you, just pay so much over time, because we already do that with credit cards. But it's just like, at what point is it going to become more normalized for like exported goods?
The thing is with the credit card is you got 30 days, or at least depending on how you do it, like 21 days after the statement's generated for a 0% interest period. So essentially, at best, or I guess worse, you got 3 weeks to pay off your card. Means you'll only be spending as much as 3 weeks pay on anything one single month.
Yeah, but with all of this happening and everything, and more people going to use credit cards and such to where they can buy something expensive, but just pay a little bit at a time. It feels like it's going to become more normalized for banks to be okay with that.
Yeah, but just letting it creep up on you, because then it's like, oh well, I got just like 3 other things I'm paying. Oh, I got only 4 more things I'm paying. Oh, five, six, seven. Oh, I got 10 things I need to pay. I'm already maxed out. The money I have for the next 2 months is going directly to that.
Yeah, and that seems like at some point it's going to become normalized with things becoming more expensive to get from overseas. I mean, think about it.
I will unfortunately agree with you. Normalizing is what's going to happen. it's not a smart idea.
I didn't say it
But
was a smart idea.
oh,
to
I
begin-
know, I know it's not. But you are constantly going for it, saying that that's your best option right now. Whereas the best option would have been just save up money, think for it until you have enough to pay for it, instead of paying extra just to have it now.
My friend, do you know that people are going onto these scam crypto sites and willingly paying people?
That is an entirely different thing.
No, it is not, because they are using their own money and being stupid with it. At the very least, somebody like me isn't going on there and giving $100 for crypto I know doesn't actually exist,
See, here's the
just
thing.
for that person to pull out at the last moment with the $1,000.
Do you think smoking cigarettes is bad?
Yes.
Okay, so what I would say is, you're smoking a cigar, saying at least I'm not doing crack. They're both bad things. One is
Yeah.
significantly worse. Don't get me wrong, but it's still bad for you.
Okay, I can tell that you're getting into that moment of like really wanting to,
I wish I could convince
really
you.
defending about money.
It's mostly money, but in the end, I got three options, and the option I'm doing with is just saying what plays out with you.
Yes, I really wish my family thought about that. Just let me be.
I just can't worry about you.
I mean, you can worry about me. Just know that I do have things work out at the end.
I don't know. It's
You-
just like you are unfortunately it's being delayed. That's all it is.
Oh, so is death. We delay that with vitamins and such.
And you could also delay it with just eating regular food.
No, I mean like you could eat regular food and everything, but people who don't will just turn to vitamins to try and delay things.
Yes, they'll at least try that. Whether that's effective or not, it's a different story. It could just placebo. But who knows? In the end, it's just like genetics and just happenstance.
Anyways, Mario Kart.
Yeah, drive virtually everywhere.
We really gotta stop getting into these real life shit when we're doing these things. But either way, yeah, so the competition things, this is actually kind of awesome because the way I see it, if you come into first, then you can automatically drive to the next race. And whether or not, like, you get there, you can automatically go into the race. Or if you have to wait for somebody, it still seems perfect.
Alright.
Because the way it used to work is regardless of what your position was in the last race in these cups, your position is always randomized. So even if you came in first, you could be far behind a lot of other people.
Gotcha.
Or even if you came in last, you could be like front and center in the next race. So with this, it's kind of like if you come in first, you're guaranteed to at least try and keep your position. And I also have a little fun idea to where it's like if you don't finish the race, there's a chance that you can get a DNF and you can automatically go to the next race. Or no, let me put it in a.
I think disqualified, not forfeit or something.
No, I got my ideas mixed up. It's the fact that if you don't make it to the next race by the time that everybody's already started and everything,
Yeah.
you're allowed to go to the next race over, but you're technically taking points off the last one. So, if you finish in last in the first race, and everybody's already starting race 2, technically that disqualifies you from doing the race 2, so you don't get points for that. But you can still automatically go to the race 3. Yeah.
That seems.
That seems like the kind of idea that I want to see in this, mainly because again, this is 24 people in a single race, so that'd be kind of an interesting thing to see like a whole bunch of people like fail the first race or come in so far last that they're automatically disqualified from the second one. Although that makes it sound worse because I've known a few YouTubers who have gotten so fucked over, even by even the CPU racers, that they end up becoming last in mostly a bot race. So if something like that happens here, that's gonna be even more fucked.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't got much. Mostly just me wanting to play Mario Kart. I'm paying $500 just to play this game.
Yes, but you can also do these where you race through like what 4 or 5 different tracks, and you gotta make sure you come in within that percentage of the group.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll say it kind of makes me wonder if you're one of the people that gets knocked out within one of the first few groups. Would that technically allow you to just keep watching the others, or are you automatically like kicked out of the race and have to go somewhere else?
I was questioning that too, cause like, damn, that's brutal being disqualified. But then it makes me wonder, like, could you end up just like placing certain traps for other people? You still play part of it. It's just now you get to sabotage.
It would be kind of interesting if you could try to fuck around with people to the point to where you can make a certain somebody like pay for going in first. But I don't know. That's something we would have to wait for. Because I can definitely see you being an asshole trying to trip me up. But at the very least, free roam. This is the one thing that I'm gonna be doing a lot in this game. Mainly because like it seems like it's so enjoyable to just go around to all these different areas and simply be there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna play a lot of the motorcycles with one of the princesses because obviously I like the motorcycle stuff. It's a lot easier to get around in one of them than one of the carts. But also, I just really enjoy like Rosalina. And yeah, also going around and seeing like the city aspects, going to see this place, whatever that was for a moment. Like a lot of this would be interesting to see like outside of the race. Because with normal Mario Kart, you're racing around the area. You only get like a split second for 3 turns that you can actually look around and see everything. Until it's kind of like, okay, race is over. Don't go and look at anything else. That's We're just gonna go ahead and move on to the next area.
Gotcha.
Whereas this is kind of like, oh, I can actually, goddamn, the hell, that would not be a
Scam?
telemarketer.
Okay.
Fucking again. I've been getting so many of these calls lately.
I'm not surprised. It sucks. Stop.
But yeah, either way. So the fact that I can go and like drive around even the cities and just see all these like stands that are going on, seeing all these like Mushroom Kingdom businesses that are happening, that is what interests me the most. That's the one thing I'm definitely gonna be doing a lot in this game.
Yeah.
So, so I already told you my most likely character. What is of everything you see here? What is your most likely character to pick?
Usually Mario guy. I probably would use him.
Are you just gonna use the oversized plumber, not the giant turtle, or the much famed Waluigi?
I do hope though there's like a character I'd want to choose, but usually it's just Mario.
I mean, with the fact that like you can play almost anybody from the Mario world in this, it seems like you have options.
Oh, no doubt.
Because what I'm seeing in the back right here, you can even play as the penguin. That's the craziest part to me.
Where's the cow? Maybe.
Yeah, the cow that we saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
Even whatever the hell this thing is, it looks like it might.
Oh,
It looks like it might have like its own cart and everything.
I think I know what you're talking. Looks like a bug, but
I think it might be from one of the older like 2D Mario games. Right? I also have no idea. But then yeah, you even have. I think the Koopas have always been playable. I think now you even have like the little fish thing. Even the Goombas, who don't have arms, so kind of wonder how they're gonna do.
They're using their brain.
Yes, they're like kobolds in D&D. You have no idea what the fuck they can do things, but they can do things.
That or this is the most handicapped accessible game ever. Their feet.
Another reason for you to use the mouse just on the desk as the Goombas just constantly pressing the things forward.
I just realized now, like, with the way it is, I think you actually need a desk to play those games, or at least a flat enough surface that you could do it. Because I don't think you could just sit here on a couch and then play that game unless you're putting the controls on the couch seat.
That's kind of how I was doing for my mouse already. I just had it off to the side and it was just kind of on there.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be playing a lot of those games, or at the very least, if like some of the games I play have that kind of accessibility, I'm probably not going to be using it as much.
Yeah, probably not.
Because I mean, I already don't use the gyro piece in the controllers.
Nice.
Yeah, honestly, just imagine my frustration when trying to use a bow or something in some of the games.
Oh
Yeah, just trying to line it up really well with the sticks and everything, but because I had gyro on, it inched because I can't keep my hand steady. But yes, there is of course the Mario Kart World, but then another game that I am very much looking forward to when it comes out on the Switch 2. Go ahead and go on down to it. Yes.
Tomodachi Life.
Yes, the one game that everybody has been waiting years for. Which, honestly, after this, when I go to GameStop, I'm not only gonna ask about getting the Switch 2, I'm also gonna buy the Miitopia game again. For a few reasons. One, I want to see what kind of other characters I can make in it. And two, if this is anything like how the original Tomodachi and Miitopia were, there's a chance that I could take characters from my Miitopia game and put them into here. Because that's how it was for the original ones with the on the 3DS.
26. That time.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely have time.
Looks neat.
Yes, and now the creators are saying there's gonna be gay marriages too, because too many people whined about it.
Of course. I mean, it's fine. It's just like, yeah, I guess. Fine.
I also want to say this because, for God's sakes, people, y'all are so stupid. If you so, I want to say this because I heard one person on YouTube once made their island with their families in it, as well as their friends and everything, and they got upset because apparently, their dad version of their me tried to get with their best friend version of the me.
Well, shit. All right.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, and they were going off saying like it's so gross because my dad was trying to hit on my best friend and was trying to say like we should go on date, they should go on dates and everything, and I just kept on going no, no, don't do it. It's like, first of all, why do you think it was a good idea to put your family in there? Like, the whole entire reason the Tomodachi thing came along was because it was supposed to be a fun little thing to where you see characters who would never interact, just go off, live on this island, and just do really weird and silly stuff. That's why one of the original trailers for the Tomodachi game for 3DS was, I think, God, I cannot remember his name right now. I really suck at the name. Was one of the directors for the original Nintendo, Mr. Miyamoto, I think. One of the trailers was him trying to get together with Zelda.
Okay.
Literally, it was literally him and Zelda in a cafe, and then him going, "Zelda, I love you. Will you go out with me?" And then Link is right behind him and says, "No." I love you, Zelda. Will you go out with me? And then another trailer has three guys, three actual people confessing to Samus from Metroid. It's kind of like, you look at these trailers, did you really think it was going to be a good idea to put your actual family in this? There's going to be chaos, there's going to be things going wrong. And not only that, the game doesn't register that, first of all, that's your family. Second of all, that your friend isn't technically old enough. Because in the Tomodachi game, there's only the only time that the character has an apartment is if they're classified as being old enough. So putting down their age doesn't really do anything. Like I can make a me character of somebody who's like 1 year old,
Yeah.
and their character will just be old enough to get into a relationship with whoever they want. So it's kind of like, you may say that's gross and everything, but that's just because the game doesn't know this 1 year old is literally just 1 year old. It's not the actual person.
Gotcha.
The only way a lot of times for this kind of thing to not happen is if you get something called an age-o-matic, which turns an adult into a child and a child into an adult.
Gotcha.
And the way that works a lot of the time is the me characters who are already like almost adult like everything. You can give them the spray, they become they become smaller and more child and everything. And they stay like that until you give them another age-o-matic. And when they're like that, they have no actual like need for a relationship or anything. Like they don't have any kind of like desire to get into a relationship with another character. They keep them like that until until your father moves on to somebody else. And the only reason I know of all this is because back when I first played, my me had a child with another me, and once that child became old enough to get their own apartment and everything, I had to use an age-o-matic to turn them back into a kid for a bit. Dude, you look like you're so tired.
I am. I mean, I was awake at like 1 a.m. and I'm still awake. Dude, I went to work.
I know you went to work. Why didn't you think about getting more hours?
Come on.
Because technically, didn't you technically fill in for a Thursday shift by just putting in for a 2 to 10 shift?
No, they called me and like, oh hey, they called that they can't show up. You mind doing it? It's like, sure. And it's like, all right, cool.
Again, that's on you.
Yeah.
Like you literally.
I was gonna be a get OT, so I was like, all right, fine.
I know, but it's funny because like you literally had an entire day to relax yesterday.
No, it's today.
No, what I meant is your original schedule.
No, it's still 2 to 10.
I know, but I'm saying your Wednesday shift was technically 2 to 10.
Yeah.
So that meant that after 10 o'clock on Wednesday,
Yeah.
like you had an entire day to just relax.
Yeah, I
and
went
you
to
could
sleep.
and then you could have still had that if you said no to going in last night,
Oh yeah.
or literally this morning, technically.
I mean, technically, the only way to do this was like leave right about now and go to bed and fix myself back up, or not show up here.
Okay, well, it's already been technically 2 hours, so I guess we
It's
can.
been a while.
Yep.
I'm more surprised I have not like completely fallen asleep. My eye was like, "Hey, you want to just like slowly close your eye a bit?"
Yeah,
Just like
I saw the one eye trying to
I
really.
know, because it was like, let me just. Oh,
You look like how I usually do on the drive over to work.
yeah, I'm going to sleep. You should be waking up.
I know, but there's always something about a drive over to work that really puts part of myself to sleep.
Might be just there's a word for it where it's like you're driving. Eventually, it's not even tunnel vision. It's like road sickness, road sleepiness. There's a word. You're seeing the exact same thing over and over again without much change. I can't remember the word right now. Or to phrase, I forget.
Okay, we'll go ahead and stop the stream here so that we can go to GameStop, try to see about that, or at least I can go to GameStop.
You probably will. I'll probably just head home. I don't want to risk it.
Yeah, I'll go over to GameStop. I'll do what I need to. And
Yeah, you let
see
me know
about
how
that.
that goes out. I'll probably just ask you if we could also get it in your points.
I figured that was going to be the case because I was going to say that I'll ask them about the pre-order and see how much it is.
Yeah.
And depending on what they say, I'll just let you know so you can transfer the money over to me and I can pay them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, do we have to do it at the same time? Can we do it like 2 separate times?
What
That's
do
a
you?
good question. Well, like you pre-order for yourself right now, then the next time when I'm actually fully rested, we go to GameStop again and pre-order again.
I mean, yeah, we can do that and everything.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that I thought if I pre-order mine and yours at the same time, it automatically secures your spot as well.
Yeah, there's that, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, you're guaranteed for January. Not January. What was it?
June 5th.
Right? June 7th.
Fifth.
You get your. I don't know, but like, just it's already been a day. Like, I would not be surprised. You can't get it anymore.
I mean,
It feels like it's one of those things where like people order a lot of it, but then it's like, the more I look at it, it's like, there's, except for the new game, because you can't play Mario Kart Worlds, right? And which one, right? The Switch 2 exclusive.
yeah, but what I've seen, it looks like it might be a Switch 2 exclusive.
Like, pretty shit. It's like, but at the same time, I get it.
But I mean, how do I say? Right now, I don't know if it's pre-orderable at the moment. I know when I looked on the site, it said the 9th, but I'm kind of hoping that that's not like all GameStops. And let me double check. Okay, the 9th, at least I should be able to actually go to before or even after work. Because I only have a 4-hour shift that day. So I'll go there today. If it says, if they say they can't do it until the 9th, then I'll probably just wait until then. But at the very least, I'll let you know about all that kind of stuff. Until then, I will see you all later.